again if this game goes to overtime.
This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25.
New England trying to get a place on offense. Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
Here's May.
He finds Douglas complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Two timeouts still in their back pocket. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. May.
He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
They'll throw with May.
Here we go, this to avoid overtime. And this is going to be intercepted.
And it's a big play there to secure the football. And, folks, we are headed to overtime. So the Jaguars going to get possession of the football first here in this overtime session as the kick is away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
They'll start on the ground. ETN. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up.
Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. And that will be incomplete. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
New England's offense set to go. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points. And now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick six, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line.
Josh Hines-Allen there on the stop.
This being their second opportunity in overtime, third overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
To the air, May. And pass complete. Here's Butte with it.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Back-to-back completions, and that puts them in enemy territory.
And we're always looking for that elusive term momentum, aren't we? And I think they're building it with the back-to-back completions. Now they feel like they can either take a shot or continue to build it the way that they're doing now. Safe throws, get it to their playmakers, and see what happens.
Completes it to Douglas. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 27-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
Shifts by him.
And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 61 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. May now off the bootleg.
And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete.
We know all the receivers go through those tiptoe drills, right, trying to get their feet down in bounds. But a lot of the times what we don't talk about is when they're up in the air and they catch the ball. You ever notice how they're reaching back with their feet, not just straight down, but back because they're trying to create enough distance to make sure their feet are in bounds. They weren't able to get it done on that one, though.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Well, right now, every little bit of yardage helps, and they're obviously well within his range. It's just about keeping the football and getting in the right spot.
Know your kicker. Get, as you mentioned, get it to the right spot, the place that he wants to kick it from. And if you do decide to throw the football, it either goes to your team or no one. It's the only kind of throw you make.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Brought down by Trayvon Walker on the pass rush. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And it'll be a good time in the Back Bay tonight. The Patriots have won the football game.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say cheerio from London.